Economic Forum is also now arguing that water, soil, and even the air we breathe needs to be assigned a financial value. It needs to have a price, and it needs to be measured.
Now we need to put the economics of water, not only in terms of monetary values, but also in terms of governance, in terms of recognizing water as a commons that we now need to manage as a broad systems approach.
If we're going to protect natural systems,
So now, because of the amount of water usage that they have to use in order to push these digital programs, AI and everything like that, they're saying we need to monetize water. You can't tell me that this man does not have to be taken out of power. He must needs be removed.
one of the solutions is to bring nature onto the balance sheet, to bring nature into the ways that decisions are made within business.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Bahashim Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutations to all the Akim out on the four corners, teaching the truth and sincerity. With the stature required mouth of the GMS Dallas Camp, coming at you with a quick lesson, Lord's willing, edifying unto the hopeful elect. I took a snippet from the elder Ariala's video, going in on how, how much of a cruel Lord Esau Edom is. All right. But I was going to use that because in the video it says that they say that Esau Edom's trying to patent, the things that Yahweh Shemi Shai has given to the earth to, keep life continuing. They're trying to do a carbon tax, but the carbon that they want to get rid of is you. All right. They don't want you walking around the earth farting and, doing whatever you need to do. Especially they don't want you to do as the Father, said, to be fruitful and to multiply. They don't want you to multiply anymore. They want to put constraints on you. Okay. And as they were saying, they want to put a tax to breathe, because they want to tax water, which water is life, and they want to tax air, and if you, go over your daily use of air, what they're going to do, stop you from breathing, that's the only other option. Okay. So it shows how proud this man is. All right. That they're doing everything against Yahweh Shemi Shai, and they're trying to forward their own enterprise. All right. But I'm going to jump straight into the scriptures, because this is where our power lies. All right. And Esau Edom's not going to win at the end of the day. Okay. So I pray this is edifying. So I pray this lesson is edifying unto the hopeful elect. All right. So I was going to start here at Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 10. All right. And this is the wicked speaking. Okay. All right. This is the wicked man. All right. Which is Esau Edom. All right. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 10. It says, let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us let us not spare the widow. It says, nor reverence the ancient gray hair, or the ancient gray hair of the aged. All right. So Esau Edom is coming with that mindset that, if you're not for him, ruling, all right, he's about to cut you off from existing. All right. And how is he going to do that? He's going to do that through his law. All right. And through what he set up to be right, because he's not following the law, such commandments of Yahweh Shemi Shai. He's going by his own way. But let me read it. It says, let our strength be the law of justice. All right. And there's no justice in Esau Edom's law, all right, that law is meant to hold you back. All right, that law is meant to strip the things that Yahweh Shemiah Shai has given you away. All right, it says for that which is feeble is found to be nothing of worth. All right, and it's not Jake feeble. All right, because we are worms upon this earth. We have no strength. All right, we have been in a low state because we transgressed the law, such as commandments of Yahweh Shemiah Shai, and all power has been given unto Esau Edom's hands. All right, and Yahweh Shemiah Shai did that for a specific reason. Okay, so Esau Edom can be wiped off the earth in the kingdom to come. All right, well, it's going to start here, but I'll continue. Verse 12, it says, "Therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. He is clean contrary to our doings." All right, and that right there, that's the men going out there on the highways and byways, shaking the hand at all the abominations that Esau is doing upon this earth. All right, they're shaking the hand. All right, it says they are clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law, the law of Yahweh Shemiah Shai, and objective to our infamy, the transgressions of our education. All right, because they don't have its way, they ain't got it. They're going about it their own way. They're shooting from the hip. All right, like what's that scripture? I think it's Daniel's chapter 11. Verse 36. Better yet, let me pull it. I'm gonna read it here in the Oxford Anointed Bible. All right, because it reads more plainly for me, because I can properly understand it. All right, it says this is Daniel's chapter 11 verse 36. It says, "The king shall act as he please," because that's what Esau Edom's doing right now. He's acting on his own strength. All right. It says, "The king shall act as he please." It says, "He shall extol himself and consider himself greater than any god." All right. So he's trying to say that he's above Yahweh Shemiah Shai. All right, which we know that that's not true. All right. It says, "He shall extol himself and consider himself greater than any god, and shall speak horrendous things against the God of gods." So he shall speak horrendous things against Yahweh Shemiah Shai. All right, and hey, you ain't gonna win because your arms are too short to fight against the Lord. It says, continuing on, it says, "He shall prosper until the period of wrath is completed." All right, so until Yahweh Shemiah Shai ends him. All right, whenever, because he has but a short time. All right, Yahweh Shemiah Shai is going to get to a point to where he says that's enough. All right, what's that? "Then shall that wicked be revealed." I think it's 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 8 or 2 verse 4. Salaki, let me pull it real quick. Yeah, Khan. 2 verse 8. All right, this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 8. It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh Shemel Shai shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. All right, so Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to get busy on him. All right, but nevertheless, let me finish out this 36. It says, he shall propose or prosper until the period of wrath is completed, for what is determined shall be done. You know, how about Shemel Shai is going to intervene. All right, verse 37, it says, he shall pay no respect to the gods of his ancestors, or to the one beloved by women. All right, which is Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right, he shall pay no respect to any other god, for he shall consider himself greater than all. All right, and that's Esau Edom. And his pride is lifted up unto the heavens. All right, and since he's deeming himself better than what the Most High has to offer, you know, there's a punishment for that. All right, and again, your hands are too short to fight against the Lord. I'll continue on. It says, or to the one beloved by women, he shall pay no respect of any other god, for he shall consider himself greater than all. He shall honor the God of fortresses instead of these. Now, the God of fortresses, whenever you look at, I just did a quick, Google search, and the God of fortresses is a personification of military might, and earthly domain. All right, so that's pretty much the Antichrist. Because he's only going to give power unto himself. All right, because he thinks that he's better than everything that comes out, better than sliced bread. All right, and Yahweh Shemel Shai has something else for him. All right, because his pride is so far up there. His pride is so far up there. Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to meet him, but not as a man. He's going to come as an angelic power. All right, and he's going to decimate him and put Esau Edom back on the bottom. Okay, so I'll continue on. It says, a God whom his ancestors did not know, he shall honor with gold and silver, with precious stones and costly gifts. All right, and that's what he's doing with this AI right now. All right, he's putting the AI in place to where he can reign over the AI as being its master, and they can rule this whole kingdom together. All right, Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to intervene on all of that. All right, because Esau Edom is going to find out that there's only one God. There's only one power. All these other gods don't matter. All right, because they are nothing. All right. Continuing on, it says, with precious stones and costly gifts. Verse 39, it says, he shall deal with the strong fortresses, or with the Antichrist, by the help of the foreign gods. All right, by these other nations' gods, and on top of that, the gods that he just made up. all right, just so he can forward his enterprise, all right. It says, those who acknowledge him and shall make more wealth, and shall appoint them a ruler over many, and shall distribute the land for a price. So Esau Edom is trying to put in a system to where he can rule forever. All right. He's about to tax air. All right. And if he don't want you to breathe, he's just gonna kill you. All right. He's about to tax water. Water is the thing that we need for life. Yahweh Shemi Shai gave the water to the whole world. The fresh, the fresh, the sweet, and the salty. All right, because the salty is for Leviathan and the fishes. All right, but he can't touch that, so he's gonna go after the sweet. All right, our water. All right, whenever these data centers suck up all this water, man, and they're not using desalination plants, they are just taking it, and not putting it back. All right, unless it comes back as steam. All right, but this is the product of a niggard. All right, he's a stingy individual. He wants it all. All right, he is as death. And hell can't be filled. All right, loosely paraphrasing. I'm gonna pull Sirach. I'll do it on my phone. This is Sirach, chapter 31, verse, is it 24? Yeah, Khan. It says, but against him that is a niggard of his meat, the whole city shall murmur, and the testimonies of his niggardness shall not be doubted of. So like it shall the testimony of his niggardness shall not be doubted of, because we know how a niggard acts. All right, he wants everything. He's insatiable. Okay, and Esau Edom is fitting that to the T. He's trying to tax water, air, and soil. So he don't want you to grow shit. He wants you to go to him for the one of all things. All right, he wants you to drink bottled water for the rest of existence. All right, you have to go to him for gas or for oil. Oil controls all this plastic. All right, that's why he set up all this plastic. Now, really, you can take all this plastic and turn it back into oil, or turn it back into gasoline, or you can go to hemp. All right, hemp can be turned into a gasoline, but it's something that you can do on your own. Esau doesn't want you to do anything. He wants you to go to him for everything. That's why he set up this big beast system. All right, so you have to go to him for the one of all things. But the righteous see it. The righteous see the wickedness in this motherfucker. Salaki for my speech. All right, but how about Shemi Shai is about to bring holy hell upon him. All right, because he's about to put him in straits, just like the curses have been upon us. You so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and Negroid descent. They're about to jump over and hit Esau Edom. Actually, they're already starting to, because their women are coming to Jake for everything. All right, but that's all I had. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kakodash. The water for listening. Shalom and shalom.